unconstitutional, said Wallace at the Mississippi ACLU. I'm still very concerned about an individual's inability to refuse. Why am I being forced to submit to a blood test? There seems to be other means of achieving the goal of deterring drivers from driving while intoxicated. Drawing blood seems like an extraordinary measure where other less intrusive methods are available. And I think one of the methods of reducing driving while intoxicated would be to allow freedom of competition in the area of driving people places, in transportation.
Yeah.
Last night in New Hampshire, Arcade City got its launch, which is the new project by Christopher David, the super activist out on the seacoast. That was last night, gave dozens of free rides to people in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, who needed a ride from point A to point B, probably many of whom were inebriated. And he gave those people free rides despite being, he and like 10 other people, so there were several cars on the road that were giving these free rides away, despite being threatened by the Portsmouth police with potential fines of $500 to $1,000 if they were to accept even $1 in tip on the free rides that they were giving.
Do you know if anybody took up the advice of you give the passenger a bottle of water and you accept a tip for the bottle of water, but you're not accepting a tip for the ride?
I don't know what level of interactions, people had last night, but I do know that I have not heard anything about the police actually making any kind of picketings or arrests in that case. So it seems like, for what they could have done, and they could have, if they wanted to make an arrest in this case or ticket someone, which is kind of like an arrest, if they wanted to do that, all they would have had to have done was sign up for a free ride and then offer a tip to the driver and then, bust them. They could have done a sting operation, and it would have been relatively easy to pull that off. But it sounds like they didn't do that. And instead, when they saw some lady on the side, a couple of ladies who were stranded on the side of the road who ultimately had to walk like 2 hours to get to where they needed to go or something, the ladies asked the police if they could help them with a ride. And apparently the police laughed at them and then left them there. And that news is up right now at freekeene.com. Christopher David wrote up that piece. And apparently it was actually published in the Union Leader originally, but now the story has mysteriously disappeared from the Union Leader's website. Maybe it's a fluke, maybe not. But if you want to read the original story in full, he copied all the text and put it over at freekeene.com. So apparently police they weren't arresting the Uber drivers or the Arcade City drivers last night, but they were also not helping people get home who were drunk. 8:55. Oh, wait, we're done for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Online in the meantime, freetalklive.com. Check out Daryl's website, fpp.cc and fppradio.com. Talk Live.
Anarchics is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, January 1st, 2016. Silver is trading at $13.87 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,061 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $433. Antiwar.com reports as far back as early November, the international effort to get a peace process in Syria going hinged heavily on deciding who was a rebel and who was a terrorist. To this day, diplomats warn the process is stalled on the inability of nations to answer that question. The most recent UN draft on the situation continues to list defining terrorist organizations as something still to be negotiated, despite this seemingly being one of the primary focuses of several of the involved nations. Russia, in particular, has been keen for this to be resolved, both to know who the proper rebel groups are to start inviting to the talks, and to settle once and for all which rebel factions are terrorists who can be legitimately bombed, with other nations railing at every Russian airstrike not explicitly aimed at territory of the Islamic State. This is an important distinction for them. But other nations are resisting this quick resolution, likely in part because it gives them a talking point against Russia, but also because every major nation involved in the process has a different idea of who is and is not legitimate. Saudi Arabia, in particular, is bankrolling several groups that are almost impossible not to be included on the final terror list. Early on in the process, everyone foresaw this as an issue and predicted a lot of horse trading on the final list. Ultimately, if this horse trading is going on behind the scenes, we haven't seen it, and rather everyone seems to be dragging their feet rather than risk losing important allies to the terror list. Indeed, this is going on so long that some diplomats envision simply moving on with the talks without resolving who's going to be allowed to participate, a move which itself could lead to a huge mess and a lot of infighting at the talks. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports Twitter reached an agreement with government accountability groups to revive a service that allows users to see politicians' deleted tweets. The service, called Pollit Whoops, is a product of the Sunlight Foundation and the Open State Foundation, two government transparency groups. It was effectively shut down in June when Twitter revoked access to their API. Twitter told Gawker in June that preserving deleted tweets violated Twitter's developer agreement. Twitter released a statement on Thursday announcing an agreement with the two groups that would allow the service to continue, saying, "We look forward to continuing our work with these important organizations and using Twitter to bring more transparency to public dialogue." Pollit Whoops was launched in 2010 in more than 30 countries. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Europe ushered in the new year with heightened security fears on Friday as German police evacuated two train stations in Europe, citing a tip about a planned militant attack, and Belgium arrested 3 people over an alleged plot. Security forces in many capitals were on raised alert after a year of militant attacks, the biggest of which killed 130 people in Paris in November and was claimed by the Islamic State. Soldiers were on the streets of Paris, and police forces in London, Madrid, Berlin, and Istanbul increased their presence as Europeans turned out to celebrate the arrival of 2016. In New York City, police tightened security for the traditional New Year's Eve dropping of the crystal ball in Times Square, where more than 1 million people were expected to attend. Celebrations in Germany took on a somber note when police warned of a possible terror attack and evacuated 2 train stations in Munich. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Our planet is but a giant petri dish swirling with pathogens, all mixed by the filthy stirring straw that is the world's fauna. Simply by sitting on her eggs and breathing, this duck unleashes a torrent of avian botulism, cholera, and duck plague into the air. These jousting elk slough off bits of skin and fur, sending millions of harmful bacteria into the air. Our closest relative, the chimpanzee, is itself the fountainhead of AIDS. Bitter at the ascendancy of man, these scheming apes brood this deadly virus in their jungle lairs. Nowhere on Earth is safe from the threat of animals. Even in the bitter wasteland of the Antarctic, penguins walk for miles inland, ensuring their afflictions reach every corner of the globe.
This is the Onion News Network.
Good evening. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Anarchics.
And guess who's back?
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Ellen's back. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. We're live on
Tell your
YouTube right now.
family.
Hopefully, Ellen, since she's fucking so on top of everything,
Yep.
has shared the link on our Facebook page.
Oh, and believe me, I have.
Oh, she
I've already
did.
beat you to this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't do anything. I just came in. I was so excited that I found my drugs.
Yeah. So you brought your lighter in, you brought your cigarettes in, you brought your alcohol in. Good. Now sit
Yep.
down and shut up because I've got a lot of talking to do. I have been gone for the past 2 weeks. Do you know how hard it is to not have an outlet for 2 weeks when you're used to being here all the time and just talking and having people listen to you? Look, I have like an audience right now. I can vent and people listen. And the past 2 weeks, none of that. No sympathetic
Aw.
ear.
Muffin.
You know what? I'm sorry if it gets a little personal and heated tonight, but honestly, it's got to happen at some point. And I promise I will only do this tonight. Okay, I can't promise that. I might get personal and heated at some other moments too.
Sweet.
But just to fill you guys in on what I've been doing, why I missed the past 2 weeks, and all of your lovely comments.
Yeah, Ellen,
in
why
the
you
chat
been,
room.
why you been slacking?
It's not because I don't care about you, our dedicated listeners, or you, Renee, or the show. It's because I've been having the time of my life. See, when you got a life, you got to live it, right?
Get the fuck out.
Got to live it to its fullest. And what I've been doing, well, the first week I was gone was because I went to a Slackers concert in Boston, and I've only been to maybe 2 concerts in my entire life. So I was really looking forward to going to that, and it was a hell of a show. I was right up next to the stage, and I don't know, it was tons of fun. Got to listen to some great music, and I got to go to Boston, which I've only done probably as many times as I've been to concerts. So that was fun too. Why are you rolling your eyes at that, Renee?
You've only been to Boston like once or twice.
Yeah, Boston.
Fuck you.
What?
I was born in Massachusetts, okay? What do you want from me?
I want you to have the authentic Boston accent, whatever that is.
I do. Fuck you. Why don't
Well-
you get the fuck out of my house and go park your car down in Harvard Yard?
You can't even park a car in Harvard Yard. That doesn't make sense. That's just
I
a way that you
know.
exemplify the. Okay.
I know. In
anyway.
fact, I'm so sick of hearing that every time someone points out my
yeah,
accent.
me too. I'm sick to the point of vomiting. Okay, don't say that anymore. Just be your normal masshole self.
What kind of drugs did you do tonight?
I didn't do drugs. I'm just fired up about tonight's topic.
And I am generally a masshole by being rude and uncaring and just a bitch.
Yeah,
all the
do you hear
time.
that monotone in Renee's voice? That's her going, I'm condescending to all of you, and I'm so tired, and fuck everything. Fuck.
Shit.
Fuck.
Ellen, you're in rare form.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Uh,
I'll let you have your fucking soapbox. You haven't been here.
All right. So, before I get into the point of what I'm trying, I guess I have to give the backstory. That would make much more sense. So the next week, so this is last Friday. The reason I missed that day is because I was on a cross-country journey. And this journey began by getting up super fucking early and going to the airport and getting a rental car and schlepping me and Andrew and our dog all the way to Pittsburgh, where Andrew has a bunch of friends and family, and we spent days there. It felt like forever, and it was just dragging by for me because I have no reason to be in Pittsburgh. Like it's a interesting city. It's like rainier than Seattle most of the time. But yeah, there's nothing there for me. I was just waiting because I knew that after we left Pittsburgh, we were going back to my hometown. And that's all I cared about because Andrew gets to see his friends and family all the time and he has no family issues. And I'm kind of jealous of people like that to some extent.
I know.
It's like whenever you see somebody that's normal and they have friends and family and a past and they can just walk in and out of their hometown and it's not a big ordeal or anything, it's like, wow, what kind of lifestyle did you live where you're just
where everything's fine.
Normal? Yeah, everything is okay. There's no issue anywhere. Yeah, it's like I just don't I don't know. I have never experienced that feeling, so I just can't comprehend it.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like all families have the one aunt who might get sloshed at every Thanksgiving gathering, or that one grandfather who's just like a fucking curmudgeon, like fuck you and fuck you. I don't know, shit like that, or like stupid infighting over like stupid things, or who fucked who, or whatever, what have you.
Yeah,
but
they still,
we're talking about severe fucking issues here.
Yeah, but even despite those things, there's still a cohesive family structure.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They get together on a regular basis, and they still are on speaking terms.
Yeah,
and that's pretty impressive to me, to be honest. Like when families are still together after a long time, I'm like, wow, you people did not choose each other, and yet you still get along somehow. I don't understand. I mean, not to belittle him or anything. He had a pretty awesome childhood. Like his family had money. Sure, they didn't love him that as much as I think they should have, but that's what I'm here for now.
Oh my gay.
What? I that's the only thing I can do is try to make up for what he missed. But there's not really any way, I don't think, that anybody can make up for what I missed when I was a child, because when I was younger, my mom kind of just like took off and abandoned all of her children. And before that, we were just like vagabonds all over the US. We just schlep our entire household, which ended up being me and my 4 siblings and my mom. We'd all just drive around like all over the US. And we'd move around pretty regularly. So it wasn't like we had a great lifestyle or anything. And she really didn't care that much either. But when she left, I had to live with my grandparents, who were much worse. And I actually wrote a huge depressing article about this, which you can read on thinkaboutnow.com. It's called How the State Makes Horrible Childhoods Even Worse. But anyway, so that I just say that to skip over having to explain all of that. But yeah, you get the gist. It was pretty bad. I moved in with my grandparents. They were alcoholics. They work for the state. That about sums it up. From that, you get the picture. They like to be in control. And they pretty much, I mean, as if my childhood wasn't already ruined by having my family torn apart and not being able to see half of my family most of the time. They scared off my older sister, and my younger brother and sister were living with their father. My little sister was adopted by them, so she couldn't escape, and I felt like I just had to get out. And so I left. I just took off. I went, fuck you, bye.
This might be bad timing for such a question, but I don't think I've ever asked you. Where the hell is your dad?
So my actual father, so there's the one that's on my birth certificate, which is just the guy that my mom was married to. And then there's the one that's my actual father, which I met for the first time last year. And on our way to Michigan, I got to see him one more time. But yeah, I never found out who he was until last year. He was just some guy that my mom had an affair with, and thus was me. So, I guess it's kind of fitting. I don't really belong anywhere.
Wait, what the So, like, I know they do this, but the state can put, like, other people's names, even though they're, like, not your dad, on your birth certificate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't my real father, but my legal father was the man that my mom was married to.
Did he ever have to pay child support or anything like that?
Yeah. And I had to go through visitation when I was younger, which was fucking awful because I didn't know this strange guy. I just had to sit in a room with him.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
God, I am so tired of their fucking involvement in like everything but parenting especially.
Yeah, no, trust me. I'm gonna go on a whole tirade about this. This is just the backstory.
This is your soapbox, the show, Ellen.
Yeah. Oh, listen to that music. I guess I'm gonna have to hold it in until the next segment. All right, well, thanks for listening in, everyone, and I hope you can stick with us through this story because I hope that you'll find it not only upsetting at times, but uplifting because it's an inspiration to me even sometimes. So stick around. We'll be back.
More depressing shit when we come back.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast. FPP.
There, kids. Now you can hear our break chatter if you're listening live on YouTube. Hi, friends.
Hi, we're just reading through the chat right now. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. I'm so glad we have these listeners.
Oh, you just like them now because they're calling you pretty.
Oh, this isn't the first time they've called me pretty, okay? The chats, when I first logged in, you know what I saw? First thing, you a lying rat! And then they say I'm gorgeous. And then someone asked if I went to the Keen Spiritual Retreat, which is another word for jail. Which is no, I did not go to jail. I'm schooling Renee. Where's Renee? Is she in heaven strumming a harp or partying drunkenly in Mexico? Renee is doing lines off a hooker's ass in the bathroom.
Fucking dicks in a sandwich.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning
Wish
your
I
route
had
to
thought
New
to
Hampshire.
ask you that 2 days ago.
Lots of schlepping in Alan's life.
Forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Controlling alcoholics who work for the state. I'd feel pretty bad if someone summed up my whole life that way. Well, you know what? They have worked for the state pretty much their entire adult life, and they've also been alcoholics their entire adult life. And they scared off their own children that way. But that's okay. I'll talk about this on the show. I don't have to tell you over the break. I can still be angry, though. Really?
At the same grade and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact.
Because
I believe,
potato.
like I said.
What? Because potato.
I was reading this story earlier. I'll read it on air if we have time. But basically, this girl walked into a liquor store. She was 22, but she was with her mom, and her mom was buying liquor. They ID'd her too. She had to go out to the car and go get it, and she got pissed off at them because she was of legal age. But whatever. I get that you got to produce ID. So eventually she came back and produced ID. But the police were called And as she was leaving the store, the cop tried to or it was a liquor enforcement officer. They tried to ID her again. She got pissed off, said the sale's fucking final. I already produced ID. Go fuck yourself. Like, literally told the cop to fuck off as she was walking away after she eventually produced ID, presumably under arrest, under duress. And, after he told him to fuck off,
You can sign up to receive
you shouldn't mute the mics.
Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Whoa. Fuck, bitch.
I like this music.
God, I hope no one else is wearing headphones right now. Sorry.
I hope you all are, because tonight you're going to be hearing a lot of my voice, and you're going to be hearing a lot of me talking, because I've been gone for 2 weeks and I'm full of energy. And thank you all for tuning in.
Where the fuck are you right now? Mickey Mouse? Jesus Christ. Calm the fuck down.
Okay, look, someone in the chat room agrees with me. OMG, I love this bumper. This bumper rocks.
Shut up, 66. He's just doing it to piss me off. He's mad because I forgot to memorize his song because I was too drunk and high to remember what it was. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, well,
I'm sorry, 66.
I
thought we had a relationship.
Why are we playing favorites in the chat? Okay,
because they usually like me better.
We need. This isn't a popularity contest.
Oh, but it is, dear Ellen.
All right. So over the break, somebody in the chat room said, controlling alcoholics who work for the state. I'd feel pretty bad if someone summed up my whole life that way. Well, I just want to explain to you that was my grandparents' life. Both of them. They worked for the state and were alcoholics their entire lives. And they scared off and fucked up their own children doing the exact same thing that they did to me, except worse, because they were younger and had more energy then. So that explains why my mom was all crazy, and still is to this day. And it's, I don't know, I don't like talking about it. It's really depressing. But I think the worst part of the story is when I turned 18, when I was old enough, I just ran off, and I didn't really get to say goodbye properly, but I didn't want to say goodbye to my siblings because I grew up with them and they understood me in a way that nobody else did because they went through the same shit that I did. And I wanted them to be part of my life, but I couldn't have them in my life without having my grandparents in my life, and I really didn't want that. So I just kind of lost contact with them, and our relationships fizzled away, sadly. But this past Friday, it wasn't this past Friday, but it was soon after. That's why I missed on Friday, because I was on the way to Michigan to visit my family for the first time in 3 years. 3 years I have been here in New Hampshire for the Free State Project, which I'm very proud of, and I would never take that back. But I do love my family, and I miss them. Just my siblings, not my grandparents, not anybody else. Just my one brother and 4 sisters. Or 3 sisters, I'm sorry. I'm the 4th. I lose count sometimes. There's so many. So anyway,
I feel that.
I've always had the best relationship with my oldest sister because we got along. We didn't really get along when I was younger, but we could always connect and understand each other because we kind of function on the same level. And so I saw her the first day I was there, and we spent a lot of time together. It was so nice. And the weirdest thing is that when you know somebody that well, that you can just show up and it feels like you never really were separated. That's such a wonderful feeling. It was so cathartic, and I was overjoyed because I could finally talk to somebody who understood me at an essential level for the first time in years. And I guess that kind of explains why when I came back, I feel so lighthearted now. But anyway, the next day, I rearranged all of my plans, and I called up my stepfather, who had my little brother and sister, and he called up my grandfather, and all 5 of us children ended up going out bowling together, and it was the first moment in over 5 years, probably close to 6, but I'm going to say over just 5 to be safe, that we were all together in the same room at the same time, and oh my God, I sobbed on the way home because it was such a beautiful moment. And I wish that I could relive it all the time. I wish that they were here with me. But
she's like almost crying right now, you guys.
look, I'm serious. I have serious feels for these guys. They're my family. They went through all sorts of shit with me. We've got that bond that never breaks. And I love them, and I especially feel bad for my little sister because she's stuck with my insane grandparents. And I was actually doubting that this whole reunion was actually going to happen because my older sister also hates my grandfather, and he had to show up with my little sister. And I thought, oh, this is never going to work. She's just going to say no because it's super weird seeing him. But no, we're all happy together, and it was okay. And it was a beautiful moment. We all started talking, and I feel horrible because my youngest sister, Leah, she had like so many reservations going into this. Usually, over the past year or so, we would Skype once every month or two. But the month leading up to this, she was ignoring all of my texts and all of my messages and all of my requests to Skype her. And I thought that she was doing to me what I did to my mom when she just left when I was 13, which is just total rejection. You know, like, if you don't want to be here with me, then I don't need you in my life. So I'm just going to ignore you because I don't need this. It's just an unnecessary stress. So I was really upset by that. And seeing her there, I could tell she was really uncomfortable. She wasn't being super talkative or anything like that. But I think I was able to explain to her because she's old enough now. She's 9 years younger than me. That's pretty big age gap. So she's 13. But I was able to explain to her, look, I left not because of you, but because of things outside of your control. And I still love you, and I want you to be here with me. But I'm sorry I can't be with you. I want you as part of my life. And I hope I got through to her. I don't know. She's still pretty young, but if she's smart, maybe she'll get it.
I know at one point you were talking about like potentially taking custody of her. Is that still an option?
No. I mean, she was adopted by my grandparents. I'm just hoping that when she turns like 16, 17, 18, however old you have to be to make a decision on where you live.
Okay,
that
so
she will choose to move in with me.
Okay, so I hate to stir fear, but so I was that girl, and I was told something to the same effect by the other parent when I really wanted to go live with him. And by the time I did get old enough to make a decision, well, I was old enough to make the decision when I made the decision, oh, I want to go move out with him, but I can't because the state says I'm not old enough. But I was old enough to make the decision regardless. By the time I was of legal age to make such a decision, I no longer wanted to do that because I figured my own shit out. And it wasn't necessarily for the best, per se. So, I mean, it is for the best because, I'm doing my own thing. But I had a lot of really horrible, shitty things that I probably should have never had to experience ever. Those had to happen to me first. So, I don't know. And I wish the effort had been put in to at least try to get me out of there. So, that would be my advice, Ellen. At least try. See what she wants. See what she wants to do.
I think I'll take that advice.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. I know this sounds unbelievable, but at my house, we saved as much as 45% off of a new item on Amazon. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com. Are you playing a slot machine sound for an online poker site?
Do you have a poker sound effect? Because we have a new advertiser, swcpoker.eu.
Brought to you by the same guys that did Seals with Clubs.
Now they're called swcpoker.eu. It's Bitcoin Poker 2.0. They have lots of new games, including Chinese poker. The Krill leaderboard is active now. It's Bitcoin Poker from the brand you trust, swcpoker.eu.
Get on over to swcpoker.eu and start playing now.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit, did your nerves spike? You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems the right way the first time so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with
Fuck you, Michael W. Dean. Take your worms and shove them back up your ass where they came from in the first place. And you know, they sell dewormer at Petco. Just try that shit out. Like, for real. Ha! Ha ha, bitch. I don't know why. It's a dumb flame.
Oh, it was from Mark Edge Googling. Huh. You know what?
What up, Mark Edge Googling?
I like Mark Edge Googling.
I do too.
Like a little, like a lot, kind of like he's almost like Mark Edge, but like not really. Like
almost equally
kinda
as
like
important is the amount
Like,
you owe
yeah.
for credit accounts. Also impact on
Googling.
Oh my gosh, should we keep trolling? Should we continue this troll?
the number of new
Duh.
accounts,
I'm liking the like.
Like,
and
fucking
various
duh.
types of credit accounts. They help
Bitch.
achieve
What about
or
that? Dude, we
maintain
should have like a
healthy credit
counter
score.
for the amount of
Have a
times like
system
you
set
said,
to ensure
the amount
your
of times
bills are
bitches
always
said. We
paid
should make a
on time.
drinking
Don't
game.
max out your card.
No, we should not.
Yeah,
Because
they
that'd
might
be
get alcohol
dangerous.
poisoning.
Low balance.
Yeah.
Never
Too
close
bad.
old accounts.
They
The
would
age
try
of these
that
can
one.
actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your
We're only on
credit.
episode
You need
8.
several accounts in order
Uh-huh.
to have a credit score.
Shit.
Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Stop in the name of the law. It's the Anarchics! And we fight the law in any
the
and every
law
way.
won. Just kidding. Fuck you.
No, the law never wins. Come on, not in the end. We always win out in the end. The free spirits. The rebels. Speaking of which, tonight we are broadcasting from the Rebel Love Studio. Thank you, Rob Matthias, for being our producer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Producer of the year.
I also forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show, but you can send us your comments and questions. We have an email at theanarchics@gmail.com. You can also look us up on Facebook or Twitter. So tonight, I have been sharing the story of my family and our little reunion. And so far, I covered pretty much all the backstory I wanted to talk about. I explained how, basically, in a short version, how my youth was and kind of the situation with my family, and how much I enjoyed being able to see them again. And, you know, even though we only spent maybe 4 hours together, all 5 of us, it felt like an eternity. It was heaven to me. It was such a relief. I cannot tell you how overjoyed I was to just have everyone there again and feel like I belonged, and like I had people there that loved me and understood me, and I could be there to support them. And um there my family, there I have 3 younger siblings, and I because of my horrible role models from my youth, I kind of learned from them what not to do. So I've basically gone in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I feel that.
And turned myself into something that I can actually kind of be proud of. And it's still a work in progress. I'm not saying that I'm the best person ever, and I'm certainly not where I want to be because I'm always trying to improve. But I feel like I am a decent person, and I want to spread that to my family and just show them that I support them and I love them. And even though I'm not there physically, I can still be there emotionally for them. And so now we're all in contact, and that's great. And I feel like I've gained back this happiness that I kind of left behind when I moved away, because there's no way that you can really feel like you're totally and completely fulfilled when you give up on things that you love. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, sure, I got rid of my horrible family members, but I also got rid of the good ones, and that's just no good. So now I'm all happy and gleeful that I got to see them and whatnot. But this necessarily brings up the points of what makes me so just inwardly pissed to no end. I am infuriated at a lot of things, and I don't even know where to start. But I guess I should start with saying,
make us a list. Let it all out. The heaviest things we lift, Ellen, are not our weights, but our feels. Let it out.
Okay, where do I start? How about I start with saying, if you think that your parents hit you and you turned out all right, you're not fucking all right. No one is all right from that. So don't ever strike a child, or anyone for that matter. That's not teaching them anything productive. That is just making them miserable and callous, and they're going to spread that gall onto their children. So don't do it.
It just perpetuates the cycle of violence. A lot of parents make the mistake of thinking that it instills respect. But no, it just instills fear, which is exactly what the government does. Like, respect your authorities. No. What does the government do? They just incite fear. And that's why you listen to them under duress, not out of respect.
Yeah, honestly,
Duh.
it takes away from the respect that they can have for you. It makes them hate you and kind of look down on you in this it's just don't do it. It does not accomplish anything beneficial. It only makes them more miserable. So that's my first point. Second point, when I did see my family for the last time I saw them, I felt like I had missed something incredibly important. Like last time I saw my brother before this week, he was a foot shorter than me and still couldn't pronounce his R's correctly. He would say like caw and like white. You're white, instead of saying like you're right. And now he's a full-grown football-playing man with a beard. My little sister Kristen, she's 16. She's learning how to drive. My little sister Leah, she's like almost as tall as I am. Last time I saw her, she was a baby. She was a little baby with short hair and a really squeaky voice. And now she's almost a teenager. And I feel like there's a part of my childhood that has been stolen away from us that we can never get back. And that's seeing each other grow up and learn and develop as people. And that having that stolen or robbed away by adults who feel like they can make better decisions for you than you can for yourself, that I want to take how I'm feeling and put it into a physical form and show them and say, is this really what you think is a good idea? Like, is this what you meant? Because this is what you've done. And there is no repairing this. It's just broken. You've broken it. You can never repair it. I can never get it back. It's like if you take a piece of paper and you crumble it all up and you unravel it again, it's never going to be straight and flat again. It's all wrinkled and shitty looking. And that's kind of what happened to our childhoods. Just got fucking destroyed by adults who thought they could control our lives by making decisions for us and not listening to us and not being considerate or even smart on an intelligent level. Like, when you're an adult, you're expected to be rational. No adult in my childhood was ever rational, ever. They weren't good decision makers. Not my grandparents, not the government, not CPS, not my mother, just nobody. And if there's a way that I could take back control and get back those years, I would do it in a heartbeat. But that's not going to happen. And I just want to spend the rest of my life trying to get people to understand that they need to listen to other people. They need to sympathize and empathize. And they need to try to understand that each person has needs and desires. And if you don't listen to that, then you're still going to make them hate you. You're going to make them be miserable. Point is, children are smart. They know what they need. They know what they want. They may not have the best way of expressing it, but if you listen to them and you be the rational adult in the situation, then you can fulfill that. You can help them succeed with their dreams and goals. And if you don't do that, if you just do whatever the fuck you want because you're an adult and you're going to have control and you're going to turn this person into whatever, they're the clay that is going to be molded by your hands, then you're just going to get just a pile of junk. Like, they're not going to turn out however you want them to. They're going to be resentful.
And kids are taught like so much fear and conformance and compliance, and that is so bad for them. Like, I remember a lot of times when I was a kid, I was a gymnast. I was a very good gymnast. So, for example, I liked to, instead of walking on the sidewalk or whatever, maybe jump up on a beam next to the sidewalk or something of higher height that may be harder to balance on. But I would walk. But my mom would always say, "Oh my God, don't fall." But I wouldn't have even thought about the possibility of me falling until she would say something like that. And then I would be like, oh my God, I might fall. And then I would doubt myself and my confidence would decrease. And it was just really shitty. Or like, I don't know. I'll get into that more when we come back. But yeah, stay tuned for more of Ellen ranting. Productive ranting, though.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading on Thursday, gold is $1 lower at $1,063 per ounce. Silver is even at $13.93 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $423 US. Our offices are closed this week for year-end processes and to enjoy the holidays with family and friends, but you can still shop our online store at rrbi.co for some of the best deals you'll find on silver and gold.
66. Do it. You know how I feel.
Things that shouldn't be said in modern society are said 1,400 times at the RNC, and a brave woman enters a restaurant without first looking it up online. This is the Onion Week in Review. The World Wildlife Fund quickly backtracked Thursday from a recently released press statement saying panda ears are, quote, absolutely delicious. Organization officials noted that while panda ears do taste amazing braised, steamed, fried, or cooked in an omelet, they should not have announced it publicly, nor should they have ever eaten any part of a cheetah, giraffe, or Bengal tiger, no matter how good they may be. According to company sources, the Netflix board of directors held a tense series of meetings earlier this morning to decide whether the fantasy comedy Michael is stream-worthy. The board reportedly sat through its mandatory 2 back-to-back screenings of the 1996 film starring John Travolta as an angel visiting Earth, all while passionately arguing over the film's story, acting, and level of enjoyment upon subsequent viewings to determine if the movie should be available through its instant viewing program.
What do you mean? You pretty face laugh at Rob's watching live, and he just showed me.
Imagine
Oh, really?
somebody in your
There you
community
go.
watching
turning on the radio.
somebody
and
was-
the Liberty Radio Network.
they sent-
You can
okay.
make that vision a reality.
You just have
with your
to-
own micro radio
I
station.
can't even
Visit
tell you.
broadcast.lrn.fm
Just look at it.
to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local
It's
shows.
just- it gets
Building a
funny.
radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Cryptocurrency and
You're
peer-to-peer tech developments happen fast. Stay in the loop with the Daily Decrypt, a new video channel and
wow.
podcast
So funny.
that will keep you on top of the latest innovations
Wait a
in
minute.
crypto finance, security, networking,
No.
transportation, and gadgetry like drones
Yes.
and 3D printers.
No.
Subscribe to the Daily Decrypt on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Fuck.
And
What?
be an early adopter.
What is
of
this?
These are my drugs.
Daily Decrypt.
Fuck.
What is this?
Son of a whore.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM.
This is a
are,
muzzle
1, let your
relaxer.
friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
What if the key to achieving liberty in your lifetime was to move together with others who think like you? Liberty activists are joining the Free State Project, which is over 90% of the way to its goal of 20,000 participants. And they're already making the move to New Hampshire. The successes are piling up and are proving the Free State Project is a real movement and no longer just a great idea. When you're planning your move, consider Keene. Keene is famous for its civil disobedience and non-cooperation, and there's plenty of political opportunity as well. If you're a regular reader of freekeene.com, you know there's a lot going on in Keene. Keene is the liberty media capital of the world, with television, talk radio, and more, all originating here. So it's more than just activism, with regular social events each week. See what's happening at freekeene.com and get connected with video, audio, free books, a forum, and activist tools you can download and use in your area at freekeene.com. That's freekeene.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
All right, here we are. The last segment before the long halfway break. You're listening to the Anarchics, and before the break, Renee was saying that
I don't even remember. I'm so pissed off right now. Fuck. I fucking lost my drugs, dude. Actually, no, I remember what I was going to say now.
you were saying something about
Dude,
childhood.
I'm pissed off. I'm fucking pissed off. My house was about to get raided last week, so we ran through and possibly hid what could have been maybe some drugs, and I lost my what could have possibly been drugs, and I thought I found them, but that's
Okay,
not
no one cares. We're
Fuck.
talking about childhood trauma. And-
okay.
And not instilling children with fear, because that's what that takes away all of their self-confidence. And you know what? That's what happened to me when I was a kid. My mom did not pay attention to me. My grandparents instilled me with so much fear that I couldn't even go outside without their supervision. I couldn't go anywhere without them knowing. I couldn't make any phone calls. I couldn't do shit after school without them knowing. It was a nightmare for any person who's trying to develop their own autonomy, which is a word that some people tend to forget when they're thinking about raising their children, because they don't want their children to be their own person. They want their children to be what they want them to be, and they want to live vicariously through them. And that is no one's right. Don't ever violate someone's personal freedoms by trying to do that. That's all I'm trying to say. That's why I'm so mad at all of the adults that were in my childhood. And I think that you are too. I think you're very angry about this, and I think now would be a good time to vent about some of this, Renee.
All right, here we go. So, sob story number 1. This was probably one of the saddest moments of my childhood. So, when I was in 6th grade, I was in 5th grade. I found out about this thing called the Young Author Award. And for some reason, I made a huge deal of it. I took it super seriously. I really wanted that Young Author Award. Now, mind you, I'm a high honor student. Like, school was a big deal. Like, I was convinced that school is what made you successful, blah, 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 blah. So I really wanted this award. So all through 6th grade year, I worked really, 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 really hard to get this award, right? Like all fucking school year long. And I was a really goddamn good writer. Like I have found some of my works from the 6th grade, and I'll tell you what, they're not bad, dude. Like they're not bad. I had like a college that there's like Fontes and Pinnell levels that they teach you, like, or they don't really teach you, but they like test you to see what your reading comprehension in. And I was reading like college level, like normal people books by the time I was in like 4th grade. So, you know, whatever.
That's what happens if you're smart and you spend time alone because you hate people and you're just in your own world. You want to escape through books.
Yeah, my
So
mom
you learn how to
worked with
read
me.
really well.
My mom worked with me a lot when I was younger. Like I could write by the time I was in kindergarten. So yeah, basically, I'm working all year for this fucking award. 6th grade graduation comes, right? I wrote this huge 30-page fucking mini novel piece. I was a shoo-in. Like, I was goddamn sure. Like, even my teacher was sure. Like, you're going to get the award. Like, simple. I put in the good word. Like, I'm sure you're going to get this fucking award. And then the day of the graduation, I find out that one of my best friends had also tried out for the Young Author Award. She sent in a piece or whatever. She's like, oh, mine was like 20 pages, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you know, let's be good sports. Whoever wins, wins, and we're still friends. Whatever.
You were sure you were going to win. That's
I was so
the only
sure.
reason you said that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I invited my whole family. Like, I was ready to get this award. So finally, it's 6th grade graduation, right? I'm dressed up real nice. I look real good. I'm like ready. I'm like, okay, here it goes. And they go, the Young Author Award goes to, and they say, Taylor McCanney. And I stand up, and then I'm like, wait. And she also stands up, and then I look at her, and then I had to like think a minute and sat back down and just started crying, like silently crying. Like I was just sitting there like with a smile on my face as like tears were just like coming out. And it was so sad. And I had like, my family was like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm just like trying not to fucking bawl my eyes out the whole time. And it was just so sad. So then, you know what? I never really wrote again. I didn't write until Ladies in Keene.
Wow, because you didn't get
and
this
I
award?
still don't write. Yeah, because that told me, wow, look at all this work I did. Look at the reward I got. Look at what this does. It just upset me. I'm no good at writing, clearly, because if I were any good, I would have gotten that fucking award that I worked all year for. Look at all that fucking work that I put in for absolutely nothing. Guess I'm going to stop writing now.
So nobody close to you said anything to you like, well, you know, you did put in a lot of effort, and effort doesn't necessarily equate to quality, but that doesn't mean you should give up on this. That means you should try harder next time.
I wasn't taught to listen to my family. I was taught to listen to school officials who were supposedly knowing what they were talking about. So that didn't matter to me, because I had been told all year that if I worked hard enough, I would get something. All I wanted was this stupid laminated piece of paper that said Young Author Award goes to Renee. That's all I wanted. And it seems so stupid now. And that's when I kind of like gave up on school too. Like, you know, this is kind of a waste of time. And then my grades started flunking. But even in kindergarten, like I remember I was about 5 years old, and my mom had worked really hard with me. I could read pretty goddamn thoroughly, like not spectacular, but I could read. And like I could read the newspaper pretty fluently. I might fuck up on like bigger words, but I could read. I could write in capital and lowercase letters. I could make a functioning sounding sentence. There might be some spelling errors per usual child, but I could fucking read and write. So I'm in kindergarten, and they want us to write in all capital letters because we're practicing our capital letters. Now, I know a lot of kids were like making backwards R's or this or that or the other thing, but I could do it. So why wouldn't she just allow me to write in capital and lowercase letters? I wrote a sentence as we were supposed to be practicing capital letters. I wrote in uppercase and lowercase letters, and I like didn't get the point. I'm like, but I already know all my capital letters. She's like, yeah, but everyone else is writing in capital letters, so you need to do it too. And I'm like, but that's not helping me practice my skill. That doesn't make any sense. Capital letters are for names of cities and towns, and beginning of sentences and important stuff, not every single letter of every sentence. We're not writing sentences yet. We're just writing words. I don't get it. I know what color a fire truck is. Why am I wasting this time? I already know all this. Not to say I didn't learn anything in kindergarten. We got taken on field trips and shit where I might learn something, in the outside world, but kindergarten was for the most part a waste of my fucking time. Like besides like creative playfulness and whatever, like
Well, couldn't you say that most grades were a waste of time?
Yeah, I can say that.
Most classes, in fact, like 70% of them.
Yep. Yeah, I can say that.
There were a lot of classes that I took in high school that were super useful that I'm using now, but for the most part, yeah, total waste of time.
Yep.
Repetitive, useless.
They just want to teach you that there's one way to do everything. There's one way to be successful. They teach black and white thinking, which I still suffer from, but that's not true. That's not true. There's multiple ways to go about success. There's multiple ways to drive from Keene to Concord. There's multiple ways to drive from Keene to Manchester. You could take 93 to 89 to 9, or you could take Route 101 all the way out there. So why are we being taught strictly to take 101?
So this is like a great allegory for a lot of things. For the government teaching kids how to learn, basically, in school. And also adults in general, they feel like they know what's best and it's their way or the highway. Like, if you have parents that won't let you do certain things because they're afraid or they're nervous or that's just not how they did it, like my grandparents were, then you're not going to be able to explore those possibilities, and you're going to feel like you're a little ant and they're the big boot and they're smushing you and there's nothing you can do about it. And that is such a killer to development, to self-esteem, to confidence, to pride. I feel like this award that you were talking about,
that like wrecked what was left of my self-esteem. I feel like I am still damaged from 6th grade.
I'm surprised that this award was so important to you. I thought it would be like the acceptance of your superiors, maybe. Is that what it represented to you?
I don't really know, honestly. I guess it was like confirming, like if I got this award, it would confirm what I already knew. Like, you're good at something, and here it is on a piece of paper. Just like driving. You may be able to drive, but if you don't have a license, then you can't drive.
Right. We always have to wait to be affirmed by those above us, right?
I wanted to be a licensed writer.
Oh my gosh, this is why I'm an anarchist. You're listening to the Anarchics. We'll be back after the break.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs.
And she would sing. And she would sing.
Russia, but also because every major nation involved in the process has a who is and is not legitimate. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to
For those of you wondering what I'm freaking the fuck out about right now, so Cyril put out a video called Hentai, and it showed a bunch of fucking hentai girls, anime girls. They weren't even like nude or anything. It was just like suggestive. They were not fucking, but like it showed. I forget what the video is called, but there was like a. No, but they censored it. I'm so mad. So he put out a censored, pixelated version. The whole fucking video is pixelated. I'm so mad. Ah! God damn it! And I can't find my drugs. This is turning into a horrible day. God damn it. Fuck. Can't find my drugs. Seth Tipple's being a dick. Yeah, but not at 4 a.m. when I need to bring Noah back to the airport. Then I'll hate my life. Good thing I slept till like fucking 3 o'clock today. And we're coming back.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Anarchics. Tonight we've been talking about all sorts of family issues. But before we get back into that topic, somebody in the chat room on the LRN chat brought up something that I've been wanting to say for a few weeks, but I keep forgetting because it's kind of like a minor thing. But Kickstart in the chat room says, thanks to Renee, Cyril and Synthwolf Radio is now my favorite Pandora station.
Woohoo!
And you know what? I have that same Pandora station and I use it when I go for a jog or when I'm like cleaning up the house and I want to be energetic and fun. And it's a really fun Pandora station. And some of my favorite songs on there are super cheesy and ridiculous. There's this one group that does a bunch of renditions of like Superman and the Damsel in Distress or like Tarzan and Jane, and it's so cheesy and funny. But I don't know, it's like erotic in this corny sort of way, and it's just I don't know, it's cutesy and it's fun. And I think if you don't listen to happy hardcore, you should at least try it out, because it's unlike anything that I've ever listened to, and I'm really glad that I was introduced to this genre. And I'm especially glad that Renee introduced me to Cyril.
Oh yeah, that was me, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was you. You introduced me to Cyril. But you weren't the first to introduce me to happy hardcore.
Girl in the Poke world. That's right. That's right.
Well, yeah, I knew that song. I just didn't know who wrote it or created it. But yeah, thanks to you, I now know about that, and it's really improved my life. Also, another thing about listening to things while I'm running, I have this awesome app that I downloaded on my phone. It's called Zombie Run, and every time I go for a run, I get chased by zombies and get to deliver supplies to these starving civilizations that are still surviving in the zombie apocalypse, and it's a lot of fun so far.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about being chased by zombies when I exercise.
Well, speaking of exercise, are you like done airing out your childhood grievances?
No, we're gonna jump back into that just for a moment, because I know that we have more to get on to.
Go ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich. Okay.
Go ham.
The whole reason I bring this up, talking about my childhood and my family and why I'm so angry at all of the adults in my life, I bring this up because this has kind of led me to where I am today, and I don't think I would be here in New Hampshire or sitting behind this microphone if it wasn't for all of these terrible things that happened, because it did teach me a lot. It taught me that you can never truly control someone's life. They will always find a way, and if their spirit is strong enough, they will get away from you if you're trying to control them, and they will go on to forge their own independence. So you can either be supportive and uncontrolling and allow them that autonomy and be there as part of their life, or not at all. And that's kind of what happened to some of the people in my life. I just left them behind because they weren't doing me any good, and it was because of their desire to control and be the authority figure that I got away from them, because I can't live with that. I can't live with somebody telling me what to do all the time. And it kills my decision making. And it's not just me, it's everyone. If if somebody is trying to make decisions for you, you're naturally going to be repulsed by that. And I mean, we see this all the time. Like, Renee, I know that you went through something kind of similar, and it's I don't know why exactly you brought up, like, I understand why you brought up the whole award from your childhood that you really worked hard for and you wanted, but I think the issue goes deeper than that. I think it goes further to the role models in your life, the authority figures that were too strong-handed. And I think there's a lot of anger behind that. And until you kind of come to terms with that anger and understand why it's there and how you can be productive and turn it into something that's good for you, it's always going to linger there in the background. Just like before I went to visit my family this past week, I kind of had this lingering depressed feeling, like I didn't belong anywhere, and there's nothing really that held an extreme amount of meaning. There wasn't the close relation that I had in the past. There wasn't strong bonds or ties that really held me to any one person. And now that I've rediscovered what that feels like and who these people are that I love and trust and understand with and connect with, I feel like I feel like I'm more fulfilled. I'm more of a person. I'm more me. I hope that you can understand what I mean. It's just this incredibly intuitive feeling. Like now I don't feel so alone. I feel like I can talk and be understood, and I can be myself and not be judged negatively. And it's just this wonderful feeling of escaping from this crushing judgment and control and just coming into my own and feeling like I have total freedom of expression. And with that comes like all of this confidence and self-assurance. And I don't want to take it to the extent where I feel entitled to anything, but I just want everyone to feel this way. I want everyone to feel this wonderful, fulfilled, happy being feeling that I have. And I feel like that's what's kept me behind the mic for all these years that I've been in New Hampshire, for all these 3 years. It's not like I've been here forever, but I would not be doing this if I didn't have that motivation. And I guess sometimes we just need a reminder of what's important in life for us to know why we go on, why we carry on. Do you feel like you have that drive, or do you feel like you're still kind of in this stage where you've got that fuzzy anger feeling in the background? Like there's things that still need to be settled.
That was deep, bro.
Thanks. I'm trying to be
Too deep for me after a night of heavy binge drinking and drugs.
Okay,
And my brain
well,
isn't working. But to answer your question,
you know, sometimes we use those drinking and drugs and all the partying to cover up for those empty feelings.
nope. I think I'm just trying to get drunk. But I see your point. But yeah, nope. I'm like still in the stage where I'm like, I'm like kind of over it, but I'm like obviously not over it because like you said, you can't get that time back. You can sort of fix the issues, but like I shouldn't have had to fix these issues in the first place. I don't know. I guess I'm still in the fuzzy stage, but I'll get there. Or
Yeah,
not.
I
Maybe
hope
I'll
so.
just never deal with it.
And
that's fine too. I don't know. I'm just in the stage where I'm not caring, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, and for the first few years that I left my family, this is kind of really depressing to admit, but
get your tissues ready, kids.
I was in the same state. I was so depressed that I was kind of ignoring it, and I was so happy to just be able to make my own decisions for the first time in my life that I did not give a fuck. I went nuts. I went overboard, to be honest, and I reached the lowest point in my life where I was just carrying on and doing whatever, just because I could. And I was kind of like you too, where I was like, I just want to get drunk. I just want to get high. I got high a lot, and I got drunk a lot, and I spent time with people that weren't the best people, but they were fun, and it was nice to have that feeling of total inhibition. But that's not all that there is to life, and I think that is just a stepping stone for what will come in the future.
Speaking of in the future, we'll be right back. But shit, good thing Ellen's back to keep the show together, and we won't resort to karaoke this week.
As a pioneer of the e-commerce movement, Overstock.com is proud to be the first major retailer to accept Bitcoin. Overstock was the first because Patrick Byrne, Overstock's CEO and founder, firmly believes in personal freedom and cryptocurrency. Over the past 16 years, Overstock has furnished over 18 million homes with a diverse line of products to suit everyone's unique styles and preferences. Support Overstock and freedom of choice while enjoying free shipping on orders of 0.211 Bitcoin or more.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
If you can't listen to the Liberty Radio Network's internet streams, free satellite channel, or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone, 213-493-0309. It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked into our stream 24 hours a day. Call 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309.
I don't even know where it fell.
You can control your health care with Liberty
Understand that?
Liberty Health Share is like-minded people coming together to
All this really means is you're one in a crowd.
to pay for procedures that violate your conscience.
That is okay
because
with
we
you.
all share the same values.
Join the
I'm just glad by
change the way you pay
I'm
for
just
your
glad that
healthcare forever.
Just tell me to watch my fucking language. That's not even Ian.
To find out more.
Liberty Health Share.
Together.
Let's see
Well,
what
wait, because the commercial break's going to come up in a second.
a bit of validation.
Periodicals, computers, software, electronics,
Some
photos,
there's no
cell phones, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery,
anymore.
used and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.LRN.
Anymore.
Get all your shopping done. Get a great deal.
Anymore.
Purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network. When you shop
Hello from the other side.
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can watch the LRN Studio Cam and chat with other listeners anytime at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
Hello! Do what you just did again.
Hello! We're back! We're back. We're back. We're back! All right. We're not doing karaoke this week.
No, we're not.
But we are back.
Back again.
Yes, we're back. Tell your friends. Okay, I've got to stop doing that because I'm not Slim Shady. I'm way too white. And that's not even close to the actual song. So, anyway.
Oh, thanks, Kickstart. I thought it was horrible, though. I just went back and listened to it, and I don't know if you were, like, watching the YouTube feed and saw me, like, throw my headphones off and try to hit the mute button as fast as I could.
Wait, so you're talking about the karaoke that you were doing
the week before. We ran out of show prep because Cody and I aren't.
See what happens when I walk away for 2 weeks?
Well, Cody and I just get high and then come in, and that's our show prep. We're high.
Awesome.
Every show we ever do together.
You know what? That's wonderful. It's the best way to prepare by not preparing, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually did prepare for this mentally. I prepared for it. I didn't send you any show prep, but you know, we can just wing it.
I did my own show prep. Are you done bitching about your childhood? Do you have a conclusion?
Well, I feel like I kind of concluded in the previous segment. Once you reach that low in your life where you just don't care about anything and you're trying to fill that empty hole in your heart by covering it up with drugs and alcohol and partying and having fun, eventually you start to realize that there's something missing and you want that connection with people and you want to know that you're doing something productive and meaningful with your life. And that's how you use the low as a stepping stone. You bounce off of it and you build from the bottom up. And that is the best way and the only way really that you can come back from more bullshit. So, breaking news, it's 2016.
No shit.
Just in case you missed it.
I was a little too drunk. I don't really
New Year's is here.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Do you want to see the cutest picture ever? I'll put it in the chat room. It's me and my boyfriend at midnight, and I finally got my midnight kiss. And Joe Fats, shout out to Joe motherfucking Fats, you fucking kick-ass motherfucker. Sorry, I'm still kind of drunk. But yeah, I finally got my midnight kiss, and we look cute as fuck.
Is that the first kiss that you've gotten on a New Year's?
Yeah, well, kinda, yeah. Yeah.
That's cute. That's wonderful.
I know.
Yeah, my whole New Year's was streamed live with the Puke and the Gang show, studio, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we did like hours and hours of recording, and then New Year's came. It was like 5 seconds, but I made out with Andrew for a long time, and then Nick had to, hey, stop that. Get that out of here. So Nick had to kick us to break us apart. It was a good way to start out the new year.
It was a good way to start out the new year.
Isn't it such a great coincidence that today's the 1st of January of 2016?
I do suppose so.
So, like every new year, thousands and thousands and millions of people around the world are making resolutions for what they will do in the upcoming months.
It is true.
So, with that, Renee, you wanted to talk about your New Year's resolutions. Is that correct?
I did. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
All right. Mine may take some time. So why don't you start with yours? Because I just got off of my soapbox. So you can lead this part because this is your baby.
All right. Great. At least I came with show prep. Resolution number 1. Lose some fucking weight. For real. I am so out of shape.
I don't want to hear it until you've got that chub roll, which I have. I have a chub roll. And
my God.
See, I've started exercising for like a few weeks, and then I went on vacation and ate takeout every day and did not exercise. So now I need to get back on that treadmill and lose some fucking weight. And it's not just for that. It's just for staying in shape and being healthy in general and being able to walk up a flight of stairs and not lose your breath, that kind of thing. Make sure you avoid heart disease and all that shit. So I think exercise in general is a good idea. I don't think you should be aiming to lose weight because you're already at a weight that's pretty low, I would guess.
Hardly. I lie about my weight. I do.
The number doesn't matter. What matters is how you look and how you feel.
Well,
to
I
me,
don't feel good.
Like,
I've been called fat like too many times this month. I was told that I needed to get in shape because I was starting to. I had an extra layer of pudge.
What? Stop that. Do you honestly believe that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because you have low self-esteem. Do not believe that shit.
I mean,
Renee, do you know how many? Have you ever gone to Walmart? Have you ever just walked in the front door or even peered through the window?
I used to be able to fit so I connect my two middle fingers and then try to wrap my thumb around my thigh, and I used to be able to do that, but now I can't.
Renee, this is idiotic. Do you realize as you age, you put weight on different areas of your body?
Like my boobs and my butt, but not my thighs and not my stomach. So I'm gonna fix that, and then I'll be happy.
Getting larger thighs is just a part of womanhood. But if you're getting stomach fat, that's a little unhealthy. But you don't have any stomach fat. You don't have any fat.
This summer I was thinner, but fucking fall happens. Fall happens, and then winter happens, and winter has happened, and now I need to fix that. So here's the thing. Diet shakes, because I'm too lazy to fucking diet, and I'm too lazy to exercise. So I'm gonna cheat. And it's not near as bad for you as diet pills if you do it right. And I'm not talking like going full anorexic or anything. Like, calm down. I'm going to eat food and drink the diet shakes because they just take it off. They're not that bad for you. They just like fuck with your insides a little bit. And you know what? I don't even care. It's better than swallowing a fucking tapeworm. So,
Renee, can I tell you something right now?
What?
There is no way to shortcut being healthy and losing weight by exercising and eating a healthy diet.
Well, maybe
there's no way to shortcut that. No exceptions, unless you get lipo, but then you have to keep getting lipo.
Yeah, fuck that.
Right. So, I don't know who's telling you you're fat, but they are obviously out of their fucking mind because you are so tiny. I can't even imagine you losing any weight, and I wouldn't want to see that because I would be worried. I love the way you look right
Ellen,
now.
I'll get hot again, and then we can talk, okay? In the meantime, Lugosi, all men love stick thin thighs. Keep snorting Adderall, Renee. True story. I'm on it.
Gross.
Don't worry. Just kidding. No, I don't need to be a stick figure.
Okay.
I'm just saying I need
thigh
to like.
Thigh gaps look disgusting, in my opinion.
I have a natural thigh gap.
I have a natural thigh gap too.
Gap.
I have a natural thigh gap too, and I don't like it. I wish my thighs were a little bit bigger, to be honest.
I mean, we can trade.
You know what? At least you have a nice. Look, I like curvy figures. That's like what women should look like. And I'm already like stick thin and weird, like sticky looking. But my stomach is the only place that gets fat, and that's why I'm worried about getting back in shape. But you, on the other hand, you're already in shape. I don't see why you would be worried about losing weight.
I'm not in shape. If you've seen, oh my god.
Okay, maybe you're not fit, but you are thin at a healthy weight.
We'll be back with more of my bullshit resolutions. Stay tuned.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market, making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading on Thursday, gold is $1 lower at $1,063 per ounce. Silver is even at $13.93 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $423 US. Our offices are closed this week for year-end processes and to enjoy the holidays with family and friends, but you can still shop our online store at rrbi.co for some of the best deals you'll find on silver and gold. rrbi.co.
Negotiation isn't just something union leaders and sports agents do. Your entire day is a series of negotiations. If you have young children, you know that. In fact, your kids can teach you a lot about negotiating with grown-ups. According to the world's greatest negotiator, Herb Cohen, author of You Can Negotiate Anything. Herb says that kids understand the process of decision-making within an organization. When one parent says no, they'll ask the other. And Cohen says children persist and persevere. And like smart negotiators of all ages, kids know that no is an opening bargaining position. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important, especially if you're a job seeker. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Rob Mathias, host of the Rebel Love Show.
And I'm his and your Rebel Mistress. We're the sexiest podcast coming straight out of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Not as sexy as you, my Rebel Mistress.
Oh.
Oh, maybe not.
Topics include sex,
drugs,
anarchy, and the police. We are your premier polyamory, hippie stoner, and all-around fun podcast.
We broadcast every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on LRN.FM and RebelLoveShow.com.
Want some extra fun? Check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. And join the Rebel Love crew by liking our Facebook page at The Rebel Love Show.
We're just trying to spread the love
of a liberated world. Peace.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Bring it back home! Ellen's driving me fucking nuts.
Am I? Why? Why is that? You know what? I think it sounds really enticing. It's just wonderful, melodic, and relaxing, and kind of sexy. And
I think it just sounds gay, and it feels kind of gay, and sounds almost kind of gay.
You know what? You sound kind of gay when you say that because it makes you sound like you're still in high school.
I don't care. I'm
you using the word gay as an insult. Excuse me, but I take that as a compliment.
My God, here we go with the fucking PC police. Woo woo! I don't care. And we went over this in the last episode. Cody and I used all sorts of words like cunt and faggot and even the N-word.
You know what?
Which I can't even bring myself to say. Cody O'Connor, you are a fucking
I don't care because I love it. I love it. I love that song. And especially the part at the end of the guitar solo.
All right, bitch, you got your soapbox.
So
I was blabbing about resolutions.
Yes, get back to your resolutions. Let's not talk anymore about weight because you were just wrong.
Fuck you. It's okay. I have more. So, my next resolution, I I want to try some adulting. I wrote down. I did this
That
while I
sounds
was
really
drunk.
mature. That sounds very eloquent.
I know. I did this while I was like really drunk. I wrote
Drink less? Is that one of your resolutions?
No. Fiscal responsibility. I think that's
Fiscal responsibility?
This is what this list looks like.
Okay. So you're going to be more responsible with your spending? Like you're not going to buy tons of alcohol and drugs and makeup and all that stuff?
Yes.
Wow.
I need to like be an adult and like have some savings. So when my car breaks, I'm not just like, oh shit, my car broke, or shit, the dentist is expensive. Hey Rob, you're gonna have to wait a couple weeks on rent.
Yeah. So you know how you accomplish that? You keep that in mind all the
Setting
time.
goals, blah 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 blah.
No, just keep it in mind. Like every time you go to
God
the store
damn
and you're like, ooh, that looks nice. I might want that. You say no. You slap your hand and you go, I'm being fiscally responsible. I'm going to wait. I'm going to delay the gratification until a time when it's really important.
This is why I don't want to be an adult. Do you hear yourself right now?
Yes, but you know, people who delay their gratification for longer get more out of it in the end.
You know, that's what my boyfriend says to me about, you know, waiting more than like 5 minutes to have sex. And you know what?
It doesn't apply to sex, but it applies to most other things.
Okay. All right, sure. Whatever. Okay. Speaking of sex, I want to remain completely monogamous this year. So none of that open relationship shit. None of that, I'm just going to fuck some other people shit. None of that, let's break up so I can fuck more people. No, I want to keep my boyfriend throughout this entire year. And a very long, long time after that.
Wow, so you want to make it into something more meaningful than just sex, is what you're saying.
We've already, in 6 days, it will be our sexiversary. It will be our 3-month sexiversary. Or no, it was October.
You don't even know.
October 7th that we first hooked up. And then, yeah, no. So it'll be the 3rd month. Yeah, the 3rd month sexiversary. And then the 13th is when we went official. So the 13th will be our anniversary. So I have 2 versaries coming up soon.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Usually for most people, it's the other way around, I think, where they get together and then they hook up. I don't know.
Yeah, but, well, all right, kids. Story time.
All right. Maybe you're special that way. Let's stick with the resolutions.
Well, I'll tell the kids a story. The kids love story time. They're saying the show is too serious, so I'm going to tell them a story.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that I had to
stories.
drop all this wisdom on you guys, and you're not mentally prepared for that. But you know what? It was important, and you listened to it. So now you can listen to Renee's fun story.
Yep, you're being rewarded. Instant gratification. Anyways, so once upon a time, I had a really shitty boyfriend. So I decided I'm going to go get a new one. But not before the shitty boyfriend decided to cheat on me. So he cheated on me with this girl who had been seeing this other guy. So I decided when I broke up with him, I'll get back at him and I'll get back at that whore and I'll fuck her ex. Haha, fuck you. And it just so happened to work out. I fucked him like half out of spite and half just because I wanted to, because he's a nice guy. Like, one night I was going to walk like 40 minutes in the fucking cold and high heels through downtown Manchester, which can get a little sketchy at night, and I should not have been doing that unarmed. And he was like, bitch, what the fuck? No, come. Well, he didn't say that. He was like, hey, young lady, you should come get in the car with us and we will give you a ride home because fuck walking.
Young lady, get in my car.
Okay, whatever. He did it nicely, and that was creepy. That was creepy. Jesus.
Get out of my dreams and into my car.
But yeah, so I fucked this guy out of spite, and it just worked. He's the best. I fucking love the shit out of him. And no, FTL 59864 or God, I hope you're not who I think you are.
I think we know who you are.
I think we do.
Anyway. What's your point?
Oh, no. Ian was not the shitty boyfriend. And, you know, I feel bad because I feel like I almost kind of perpetuated, like, the idea that Ian was a shitty boyfriend because, like, I kind of say, I don't know, I bitch about Ian a lot. And you know what? He wasn't that bad. Ian's not a bad guy. So relax, everybody, because he and I are still good. We cool. Everything's cool. I get to co-parent my dog.
Yeah, and this show is not about gossip, by the way. So stop asking.
Sometimes I address it because I don't care. I'm an open book. I really don't give a fuck. What else did I say?
Good adulting, Renee.
I know. Set to a good place / stability. Get to a good place / stability. I guess that means I want to be fucking stable.
That sounds to me like you want to move beyond that shady, angry, depressed stage and work your way up from the bottom like we were talking about earlier.
I think that what I would mean like by that would be something along the lines of not having to worry about everything all the time. Like, oh, am I going to have enough money to pay rent? Or, oh, if my car breaks. So I guess more along the lines of fiscal responsibility, but just like not having to worry and like, I don't know, getting on a fucking like regular sleep schedule. Like there are some nights I crash out at like fucking 11 because I just can't. Like I overexhaust myself. And I will some nights not be able to sleep till like 6 in the fucking morning. And that's not good for me. So I need to practice some more adulting.
You know what I think is especially important to that, and I hope this is on your list. I really sincerely hope that you learn at some point to say no to things that are not priorities to you. Like get your priorities in line and know when something's not worth your time, when other things are more important, just say no. Thank you, but I have better things to do.
Yeah, no, I have a new philosophy. It's called hell yes or no. So I spread myself really thin sometimes. I don't have time to do anything, including things I need to do and things I want to do. And it sucks. I have no balance. So people will ask me for help and I'll overexert myself. And I'll say, yeah, I have to do a fucking really important panel tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'll stay up all night and help you dye your hair because you have a photo shoot, which is to me not near as significant as a task of what I have to do. But goddamn it, I'll help you anyways because you're my friend and I love you and I want you to be happy and I'll put your happiness first, even though you won't return the favor. Yeah, I don't know.
So saying no is important to all people, especially people who care about their time.
Yeah, so like, or I was telling Cody, like, you shouldn't have to hesitate when you think about who you want to fuck. Like, if she's really hot, like, hell yeah, fuck her. But if you have to sit there and be like, is she worth sticking my dick in? Then the answer's probably fucking no, you idiot. So, yeah, hell yes or no.
That's a good philosophy for everyone, and I hope that we can learn more from you when we come back from
And
the
don't
break.
stick your dick in crazy. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Don't do that.
Don't do
either.
that.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You guys, Ellen's like choking on imaginary cum right now.
Yeah, it's almost real.
Thanks a lot, Tyralius. The fuck? Newbie, what'd you send me? Oh, Billy Ocean. No, sorry. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Don't do it. It's a bad plan. This is scary.
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
What's the sound of a man working on a train?
Derek
Train.
Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com. Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then all of a sudden you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe 10 grand or more in credit card bills, and you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-981-7590. If you owe 10 grand or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-981-7590. 800-981-7590. Get out of debt now. 800-981-7590.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
Yo, yo, yo! Okay, what Renee's looking at is a cat dressed in a monkey suit licking a banana, and it's kind of adorable.
I'll send it to you.
It's kind of like this video I saw where these little puppy dogs had on these Jedi suits, and they were sword fighting each other with lightsabers, of course. That was adorable. I don't know why animals are so cute. And looking at these videos on Facebook is really addicting. But this is one of my resolutions this year, that I will stop wasting so much time scrolling through the wasteland that is Facebook, because there's nothing good that ever comes of that, just wastes of hours. So that's one of my resolutions. I'm not going to get on there unless I really have to or want to. And I'm not going to go there for news. I'm not going to go there for stories. Nope. I'm going to check up on people I want to, but most of the time, just not going to be on. That's my resolution anyway.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to work on some serious fucking time management, dog.
Yes, time management is such a big thing. And, increasing your productivity by even 2% makes a huge difference. That's the difference between, like, Olympic athletes winning or coming in last. 2%.
And that's what I was saying earlier as far as like stability goes. And another one was like get out and see friends more and balance your time with like things you want to do. For example, like I really enjoy spending time with my boyfriend. So I have been basically ignoring Rob and Ann and everybody for the past 2 months, like all my friends, not because like he's making me or anything. Like I have just become like a homebody because I just enjoy him so much. And, why would I ever want to leave the house? Fuck that.
Right. Actually, I've become fascinated by this over the past year, is finding balance in life, and there's hundreds of links. If you Google it, you can find 8 simple ways to find balance in life.
Wait, you do it too.
Do what?
I was just bitching at you for this like 2 months ago.
What?
Ellen, you need to get out more. You just coop yourself up in this house with your boyfriend. You're being weird. Stop it. Come see your friends.
No, I don't coop myself up in the house. I mean, most of the time I just don't have. Most of the time I'm doing something that is important to me. Maybe not to everyone else, but it's important to me. And it doesn't.
I enjoy my time in the house.
Yeah, it doesn't require me going out. Spending time in the house is nice because I don't spend money, and I get things done, and I'm productive, and I feel proud of myself afterwards. And even if that means not seeing my friends as often, that's me making that choice, and I think I feel better because of it. So when I do go out to see my friends, it's more meaningful, and I have more to say, and then I'm just a motor mouth like I am now, and I tell them as much as I can in as little time, and we have a good time.
And that's why you have a podcast and internet friends.
Yes.
Anyways, next resolution.
Hi, internet friends. I love you.
Hi, internet friendships. But
You're my favorite.
Yeah. So for those who are aware of the YouTube stream and have been watching, you may have noticed that my hair color keeps changing. I'm destroying my hair.
And that looks expensive.
Oh my god, I spent so much money on hair dye these past few. I'm so pissed. So
just stop it.
So I was blonde. I was enjoying the fuck out of being blonde. I loved it. It was one color and it was cool. And then I went to touch up my blonde, and they didn't have my typical platinum that I was using, so I used a light ash instead. Now, the product was defective. Clearly, it had been sitting there a while. I said, it's fine, and put it in my hair, and it turned it gray, like silver gray, like gross, like the hipsters do. And I was like, hell no. So I dyed purple over it because, I missed my purple hair, but then I remembered how annoying it was. Like, my nails are constantly fucking purple. And my shower's purple, which is fine, but I have roommates that I'm trying.
I thought
not
you
to piss
painted
off.
your nails.
No, dude, no. So I then tried to change it for New Year's, and then I bleached the purple out, but I used this permanent dye, and I didn't leave it in long enough because my hair is overprocessed and will now take more time to dye. And I took it out after 40 minutes when I should have left it in an hour. And it came out bright fucking red instead of the dark auburn I was looking for. So I put more dye over it, and now it's a burgundy color, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's also kind of pissing me off. So, yeah.
So stop dyeing your hair is one of your resolutions?
I need to leave it alone because I killed it. It's overprocessed, and it's wet and spaghetti-ish when it's wet.
Okay.
It's gross. It sucks.
Do you have any more?
I don't think so. Stop ignoring my friends. Be more active. Like I said, I used to be a gymnast, man. I am so out of shape, man. I need to fucking get my shit together. That's my New Year's resolution in a whole. Get your shit together.
Yeah. I remember a few months ago I tried encouraging you to start exercising, and you're like, I have all these excuses for not doing it, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I hate being a grown-up.
Stop making excuses. That's what being a grown-up is. So
I'm going to light my bills on fire.
So let me tell you what being a grown-up is all about. You come across many problems in your daily life, and you have several choices. You can either complain about it and be upset about it and see it as a barricade, or you can see it as a little roadblock that you just have to drive around. So you skip the complaining stage and you jump straight to the action. How can I resolve this? How can I get around it? How can I turn this into my benefit? That is what being mature, productive adult is about.
Here's my life right now. I'm going to light my bills on fire. The dentist is so expensive. Chipotle.
What? I don't know what you're saying.
And I'm trying to get laid. I'm just trying to get my dick wet.
You are. Okay.
I'm not a player. I just fuck a lot.
Okay. That's fine.
And I'm done.
Sex is great. That's probably it should be one of my resolutions, is to have more confidence in the bedroom. Have more sex more often, because that is a really good way to be happy all the time.
I'll teach you how to be confident.
That's okay. I don't need you to teach me.
God damn it. One day.
Thanks for offering.
One day. I'll get her one day.
So I guess that should be one of my resolutions, something that you mentioned as well. I really want to stay in contact with my family. I never want to fall out of contact with them again. And I'm really not good at it because sometimes I just get too self-involved and I forget that other people exist. But I don't want to do that anymore. I really care about other people. I want them to be part of my life. So I'm going to try to stay in contact more and act like I really care because I do. So I'm not going to be the victim anymore. I'm going to strike out and make decisive actions. That's what I want this year to be about. And another thing, I really need to focus more on my schoolwork because my college classes are going pretty well, but they could be better. Could be a lot better. We all strive for perfection, and sometimes we fall short, but we just have to keep trying, right? That's what I want to keep doing. Are you going to be doing that?
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Oh yeah, I should probably stop procrastinating too.
Yeah, don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
And I need to like make a list of people that I like give a shit about and people that I don't give a shit about and like need to distance myself from and put more time into like time management. Time management. Get your shit together.
Speaking of lists, they're really helpful. Like sometimes when you feel overwhelmed, like you have too many things to do, you have so many things on your mind, just write it down, get it out of your head and onto a piece of paper. You will feel so much more organized. And if you start losing your train of thought, just look back at that piece of paper and it's all there. That's something.
I'm sorry.
Why is that funny?
Daryl W. Perry posted an update. Daryl, here's how long it takes to seduce you. He did a quiz. His result was 11 seconds.
Oh my gosh. That's probably not far from the truth.
Like.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're like Daryl W. Perry, maybe your New Year's resolution should be something like be more assertive. I don't know.
Daryl's just trying to get his dick wet too. I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
You can't.
He lost a bunch of weight. Why
can't fall for somebody in 11 seconds?
Why? Like Daryl, who went from eating fast food every day, can have the fucking self-control, the diet. Why the fuck can't I lose 10 pounds when he lost like 100 plus? Are you shitting me?
Right.
Bullshit.
I think we should take that as inspiration and apply that to our daily lives. Like, you should always be thinking about that, especially when you go out to eat. Like, am I going to get this cheeseburger with french fries or am I going to get the salad? Salad's usually cheaper and has less calories. Oh my God, what is that you're looking at?
I don't know. Facebook feeds are distracting.
See, this is why we need to get rid of Facebook.
I know. I'm supposed to be doing a radio show right now and like entertaining people.
Yeah,
so good thing it's over.
The only way that New Year's resolutions work is if you stick with them and think about them every day and apply them. Apply yourself. Do it now.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
If there was a place that liberty-minded people had been elected to political positions and were rolling back government, would you move there? If freedom lovers had secured a 20% voting bloc and can veto most bad bills, would you move? Well, the time has come to sign the pledge at freestateproject.org. These things have happened in New Hampshire, and you can join us and help. freestateproject.org. Sign up now at freestateproject.org.
The latest episode of Off the Air Live is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the
Disconnected.
probably saw it and it was disappointing. I don't remember, but somebody said it sucked.
Did you get Jazzy something for Christmas?
I did, but I'm an asshole. I forgot it. And I would have got her something last night when I remembered I was an asshole and forgot it, but Petco was closed.
Oh.
She says the Rebel Love Show like multiple times.
I kept calling.
I'm Gary's right hand.
Mainly
Gary has seen one.
If I could fuck you guys on rent and you guys wouldn't have grounds to sue me, then I don't legally live here.
Wow.
Rise and shine.
Obviously not. I'm not a fucking
6 a.m.
asshole.
and your hand can't make it
But
to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling you that.
Fuck these assholes. Like, I'm just pissed off because they don't even know what they're enforcing. I start trying to ask questions once he gets out of the car to give Rob a ticket for fucking uninspection or unregistered. I'll let you explain that part. But I was pissed off because he gets out of the car. I'm like, what do you want with Jared? He's not answering my question. And then finally, like, once I ask him enough time, he goes, I want to arrest him. And I'm like, for what? And
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car.
The wild part